A woman was locked in a coffin in an ancient castle by her boyfriend. She never expected to meet her ex-husband inside the coffin. However, instead of blaming her for cheating and eloping, the ex-husband carried her into a carefully prepared wedding room and asked to remarry her. It turned out that the woman was originally the queen of the horror fairy tale town game, but because the game was too simple, the NPCs in the game were often abused by players. A year ago, the town's boss finally found a way to resist. His only weakness, though, was his wife. To let him focus on revising the game content, the woman quietly escaped from the game. She also took the opportunity to experience a human relationship. Wanting to understand human nature, she never imagined that her first boyfriend would be a scumbag, who often had ambiguous interactions with his first love. A few days ago, the first love was selected to enter the game, and she even urged the boyfriend to drag the woman into the game as well. This was simply because dying in the game would also result in death. In reality, they wanted the woman to be a scapegoat. Yet as soon as the woman entered the game, she realized this was her hometown. Although the boss had revised the game quite a bit, she relied on her understanding of her ex-husband and the help of other NPCs to escape danger time and again from the boyfriend and his first love schemes. She also received 2 bottles of self-refilling healing potions as a reward. Other players were not so lucky, though. By the time everyone reached the level of the dwarf kingdom, more than half of the players had already been killed. Faced with the dwarves' warm hospitality, the players, who were already starving, could not care about the danger and devoured the food greedily. Moreover, they thought the woman had potions that could cure them even if they were poisoned. Only the woman felt something was wrong and refused to eat. Sure enough, as soon as everyone finished eating, the dwarves demanded that one princess be chosen from the group to be locked in a coffin, to accompany them forever. The male players sighed with relief upon hearing this, thinking the princess could only be a female player. However, the dwarves told them that men could also be princesses. Upon hearing this, everyone realized that the chosen princess would face a terrible fate, but forced by the dwarves, they had to draw lots. In the end, the first love was selected, yet the first love just acted coquettishly towards the boyfriend, and he immediately insisted that the woman take her place as the princess, claiming the first love was too timid, unable to bear it any longer. The woman questioned her boyfriend if he cared so much about his first love, why didn't he take her place himself? But the boyfriend shamelessly replied that if he became the princess, no one would take care of his first love. He also said he would definitely come back to save the woman after everyone cleared the game. However, the woman no longer believed his sweet words and firmly refused to be the princess. Angered, the boyfriend immediately negotiated with the dwarfs and finally reached a deal. As long as everyone sent the woman into the coffin, the potions in her hand would be equally divided among the other players. Overcome by greed, the players ignored the woman's struggles and forcibly locked her in the coffin. Little did they know that as soon as they left, the woman was rescued by her ex-husband. With the woman's potions, the players fought their way to the final level. Just as everyone thought they were about to clear the game and go home, the first love was suddenly slapped. Terrified, she shouted and asked who had hit her. In the next second, the woman appeared out of thin air in front of her. The scheming woman only said one bad thing about the other woman. The next second, she was slapped hard across the face, but she couldn't see who had hit her. Just as everyone was terrified by this incident, the woman suddenly appeared out of thin air in front of them. Everyone was even more astonished, for they had previously locked the woman in a coffin and offered her as a sacrifice. They couldn't understand how she had escaped. It seemed she had even gained the ability to become invisible. Little did they know, the woman was originally the queen of this terrifying fairy tale town game, because the previous version of the game was too simple. The NPCs in the game were often abused by players. A year ago, the town's boss finally found a way to fight back, but his only weakness was the woman, who was his wife. To let him focus on revising the game content, the woman secretly escaped from the game. She also wanted to experience a human romance to understand human nature. Unexpectedly, her first boyfriend was a scumbag who had an ambiguous relationship with his first love. A few days ago, the first love was selected to enter the game. She even urged her boyfriend to drag the woman into the game as well, only because dying in the game would mean dying in reality too. They wanted the woman to be their scapegoat. Little did they know, this place was the woman's hometown. Relying on her understanding of the game, the woman narrowly escaped danger time and time again. However, on this day, during the dwarf level, the first love was chosen by lot. She was to be locked in a coffin and sacrificed. As a result, the boyfriend, persuaded by his first love, teamed up with other players to force the woman into the coffin. They also snatched the potion reward she had obtained earlier. Little did they know, as soon as they left, the woman was rescued by her ex-husband, the boss. Only then did she learn that her ex-husband had long since to return. He just hadn't looked for her because he was busy revising the game. Now that the game revisions were complete, he finally had time to rekindle their old romance. But while the two were lingering, the players had used the woman's potion to complete the final level. The boss thought he shouldn't let these inhumane people get away with it, so he asked the woman to be the gatekeeper at the game's exit. At the same time, the boyfriend and the others were preparing to claim the clearance reward. When they saw that the reward was magical potions like eternal youth, everyone was overjoyed. At that moment, one player remembered the woman. He reminded the boyfriend of his promise to rescue the sacrificed woman. However, the boyfriend and his first love both said at the same time that they had no time to save that vicious woman now. The first love even admitted that she she had brought the woman into the game specifically to make her a scapegoat. But as soon as she finished speaking, she was slapped. The next second, the woman appeared out of nowhere. She directly snatched the clearance reward. Seeing this, the players were instantly shocked and terrified. They couldn't understand how the woman was still alive. But they didn't have time to think about it now. They just wanted the woman to hand over the reward immediately. However, the woman said they didn't deserve the reward. Seeing this, the first love immediately urged the boyfriend and the other players to grab it. She said the woman was alone and couldn't possibly beat all of them. A bully player pulled out a knife and slashed at the woman, but the woman easily subdued him. Only then did the boyfriend realize that the woman had gained special powers. He immediately snatched a potion reward that a player had just received. He drank it in one gulp. The next second, he gained immense strength. Then, he followed his first love's urging to seize the reward. Only then did the woman realize how magical the boss's reward potions were. She couldn't defeat her boyfriend who had drunk the potion. Soon, she was controlled by her boyfriend. The boyfriend and his first love then dropped their pretense. They said they had actually gotten back together a long time ago. They even used to secretly cheat on the woman at home. As he spoke, the boyfriend was about to strangle the woman. But the next second, he was sent flying by a powerful force.